we are the partners of Solarian Games.
That is true. I'm Jason.
And I am Peter.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, and this week we're not going to talk. I mean, it is news.
News to us.
News to, well,
Actually, no, it's news to you.
News to you. Yes, we're going to talk about ModCon and some of the stuff that's going on there because it's only a couple weeks away, and there's a few spots left.
3 or 4 weeks away.
3 or 4, right? There's a few spots left, so we thought we'd talk about it, let you know what's going to be there, and if you want to come out, check it out.
Yeah.
The games that we're going to talk, we handpicked a few games, no particular reason, just kind of spread them out. We're going to talk about Blade Runner, Electric Dreams, Burn 2D6, Catering the Apocalypse, Delta Green, Owlshed Mountain, Weird Heroes of Public Access, and Fiasco. And then, of course, a little game that Jason may be running called Top Secret. You might have heard of it.
Yeah. But hey, I wanted to show off some stuff before we do. I saw you this weekend in person, came down to Baltimore, and there's this place down north, just in Timonium, just north of Baltimore, suburb of Baltimore, called the System Source Computer Museum. And if anybody has any interest in that kind of stuff or a chance to get down there, it's one of the coolest you can see in the country.
Yeah.
One of the things we saw was a radar-guided anti-aircraft gun from 1950.
Dude, that thing was so cool. It was so cool.
They had this IBM time clock and payroll system from the 1880s, which the coolest thing about it was the pay. You'd come in and you turn this big steampunk looking handle, you punch your name, it tells you whether you're on time or not, and then at the end of the month, the payroll or the HR, the whatever they called them back then, personnel department, would total up everything and figure out your pay, and it was on this big spindle, this big roll of paper. And the reason it's on a big roll of paper that lets you know when you get paid, and it turns out that's why we say the word payroll.
Yeah, we saw the actual machine where the word payroll comes from.
I was blown away. I was this year's old, right?
Yeah.
So much cool stuff. And they were having a swap meet outside. So I didn't get a lot of stuff because, I mean, if you can see, from behind me, I've already got quite a collection. I have a little warehouse downstairs that's got a lot of stuff, but always got to get some new things. So for $10, I picked up a Palm Pilot. So that'll be fun. I can now join the modern. Oh, it's working great. Yeah. I mean, this thing is in perfect condition. I can join the modern age now. I finally have technology. I collect all kinds of computers, including Palm Tops, and I found one I've never, ever heard of before. So that was kind of cool. Apparently, this is something for people who have speech disabilities. So I don't know how that works, but I'm going to find out. But there were games, too. So since we're a tabletop gaming company and a tabletop gaming podcast, you know the game Ogre by Steve Jackson Games, right? I did not know this, but back in the 1980s, there was an Apple II computer game of it.
That's cool.
So very exciting to get that. Wizardry, one of the first RPGs for the Apple II computer, and a lot of cool inspiration for some science fiction because, I mean, just the art alone on this game, Reach for the Stars, The Conquest of the Galaxy. I don't know anything about it, but look at that art. Look at that art.
It's very cool.
So exciting. Barely spent any money at all. So that was a lot of fun. Just wanted to show off. Speaking of that event, now let's talk about our event.
Yeah. All right. So we're doing ModCon, and it's the 30th, and it's a 1-day con, and it's for modern era games.
Which is what? What does that mean?
1900 to 21, right about 2100, right?
Yeah. So basically 20th and 21st centuries.
Yeah. And we were talking to Joe Block today. We did a little interview with him, and we determined that actually anything with a car in it, right?
Or that could have a car in it.
That could have a car in it. An automobile. Like
yes.
As long as an automobile, and we're not talking about flying space cars and Jetsons and stuff.
Right.
We're talking about like what you picture as an automobile.
Yeah, not a super science fiction future where they call them ground cars.
Right.
I love that. If you read like 1950s or 1960s sci-fi, a number of science fiction writers took the same trope where they were talking about the future. So they're like, I got in a ground car.
Right.
There's a word for that actually. You know, when you have to come up when you have to add a
Yes.
word that wasn't there before, like if we say snail mail,
Hmm.
you know, because everything's email now. So if it's not email, it's snail mail. Or if we say tabletop role playing games, because
Right.
now there's so many on computers. So they thought in the 50s that you'd have to say ground car to let people know it's not a flying car.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. I was reading this one story, and they were talking about slug throwers.
ooh, wow, what's that?
It's a gun.
Oh, because it throws a little slug of. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Instead of a laser gun or whatever, it's a slug
Ah, he
thrower.
doesn't even have a laser gun. He's got an old slug thrower.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. We
That's
should
very cool.
literally just start calling guns that now.
Yeah.
Get ready for the future. Just,
Right.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna, we got this place up in New Haven, right?
Northampton.
I'm sorry, now,
New Haven's
God,
near where I live.
I'm such an
Yes,
idiot.
in Northampton,
Northampton, right?
Massachusetts. Beautiful part of the country. If you already live there, you already know that. And you're more likely to be coming out because it's just a one-day event, right? So
Right.
probably don't fly in from Alaska for this unless you just want to enjoy the area, which you should.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, drive in, fly in if you like. But yeah, Northampton, beautiful college town, many colleges actually. And if you look at modcon.games, beautiful location for the event.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about. So again, like I said, we handpicked a few games. Just went through the registry of games that I've already registered and picked a few out. So I'm going to start with Blade Runner: Electric Dreams.
All right, and who is GMing this one? Do we know?
Well,
You know, I'll pull it up while you're looking at that.
okay.
I'll look at the
Sure. Sure.
schedule here. So we got Blade Runner Electric because we wanted to do some. We're going to do some GM. What do you call it? Spotlights. Maybe we'll send some emails out and things like that. But for right now, I do want to at least say who's doing these. So
Okay.
Blade Runner Electric Dreams. The GM here. Oh, the hosts are Misanthropic Mirror.
Okay.
So I see the names of the people that are playing, but
Right.
they've just registered as Misanthropic Mirror. So that's the people hosting it.
Okay. This game is made by Free League, which was one of James's favorite gaming companies. And if James thought it was one of his favorite, then that means it was an excellent game company. So,
Yeah.
but the description, the event description is a neon noir wonderland that will take your breath away one way or another. That's a quote from Free League. You're a Blade Runner in the LAPD Rep Detect Unit. There has been a shooting down at the Snake Pit Club. After investigating suspected Nexus 8 activity, one Nexus 9 Blade Runner has been killed, and another is missing. You need to figure this out, and fast. Join me as this case file explores the meaning of memories, as your Blade Runner will face physical, mental, and moral challenges. Sounds really cool.
That's awesome. I don't know how many Blade Runner RPGs are out there, but this is the one to play.
Yeah, this is like, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I did a little digging on, because of course this isn't listed on our site, but so I had to go look this up. So because I've never actually played Blade Runner Electric Dreams, and like you said, there are other Blade Runner stuff out there. So I want to make sure I was getting this one right. And this is it's an investigative scenario included in the Blade Runner RPG starter set by Free League Publishing. It's set in Los Angeles, 2037. Players act as LAPD Blade Runners investigating a case involving a Nexus 9, replicants, a missing officer, and themes of memory. So it's kind of cool, I'm thinking this is leaning more into like the Blade Runner 2049, the second movie.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing about the years that we put on these things because
Yeah, I know, right?
We were talking about we were on Joe Block's podcast earlier, and he's doing a new top secret game called Top Secret 2150, which we can now say because he's announced it.
Yes.
And one of the reasons it's 2150 is because when Joe and I were talking, I said, be careful to pick a year that we'll all be dead by. So that we can't say it didn't happen. So yeah, 2037. I mean, we're probably got people already arguing about who should run for president that year right now.
Right.
So
And
it's,
there's so many, there's so many like sci-fi movies and stuff that have done that because they wanted to hit the near future and they didn't want it to feel like it was space time and stuff. So, you've got like Escape from New York, which is, I think that timeline has already passed. I think that's behind us at this point. I think RoboCop is behind us now.
Yeah, I was going to say RoboCop, they just said the near future, right?
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, but then, okay, I just looked it up though. RoboCop, apparently, I didn't even know there was a 2014 remake.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't even know that, but that one's officially set in the year 2028. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's like tomorrow,
Right.
But I mean, how far are we from having a RoboCop time anyway? I mean, we've already got We got drones fighting the wars, and I've been reading that Ukraine is sending autonomous killer robots into the field for the first time.
Right. Yeah.
So
And the robots, like the bipedal robots, are happening now too. I think China is putting out their
there's a
first.
bunch of companies doing some really good ones. Obviously, Boston Dynamics is doing a good one. So there it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
So
not far off. And
yeah, now all you got to do is get people to start saying, "I'd buy that for $1."
we've been saying that since the movie came out.
So we're set. So
Yeah, we're
set.
good. We're good.
Yeah. So Blade Runner, I mean, honestly, you go to the right certain cities in the world right now, go at the right time of night when the fog comes in.
Yeah, I mean, well, Tokyo, right? I mean, I've never been to Tokyo. You've been to Tokyo, right?
It's nothing like that.
No, okay, I've seen
No.
pictures and it kind of looks a little
I
like
think
it.
Blade Runner is more of they were kind of going for a Hong Kong thing, like where they thought Hong Kong might be going.
Damn
I
it,
would say
that's what
it's more like you got to go
Jason,
to some of the.
that's what I meant to say. I meant to say Hong Kong. I don't know
Okay,
why I
well,
said Tokyo.
these are all cities.
Yeah.
But you go to Bangkok, you go to Taipei. I think Taipei looks a little bit more like it to me
Okay.
in person. But the point is, you can get stuff looking that cool. You just
Right.
don't maybe have somebody who's going to sell you some new eyes.
Right. Not yet.
Yeah,
Coming.
it's coming.
Yeah. So the game, so it challenges you to question your friends, empathize with your enemies, and explore the poisons and perseverance of hope and humanity during inhumane times, which is perfect for cyberpunk. I mean, that is friggin' nothing gets
Yeah.
more cyberpunk than that theme.
I wish we could figure out a way for just their table to have special lighting.
That would be cool. That
I
would
don't
be
think we can do that.
No, I don't think that's the thing. So it's based on the Year Zero engine, which I had to look that up too.
Okay.
It's
a good
basically
name.
Yeah, it is a flexible narrative-driven tabletop RPG system. It uses a D6 pool system, focusing on cinematic, high-stakes action where players push rolls to gain successes at the risk of penalties. So it's the risk reward thing, which is really good.
It's a good segue. We're not segueing yet, but the next game we're going to talk about has some of that too.
Yeah, yes, it does. And then there's something called an action economy where characters typically gain one fast action and one. Oh, I know what one fast action, one slow action is. Okay, so I'm playing in a game with my buddy Will. It's my other RPG game, which we play every other week. It's a really short, like 2 hours. It's not like our regular group. And it's based on the Brandon Sanderson books.
These are the ones that did like the $49 trillion Kickstarter or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So we're playing that role playing game because he backed it. He's a super Brandon Sanderson fan, and it does have that fast and slow action thing where you can. And now I don't know what it is in this, but in that one you can say I'm going to take a fast action, which means you only get 2 actions in the round, but you get to go first. Or you can take a slow action, which you get 3 actions in the round, but you have to wait until the other guy wins initiative.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty cool.
good.
Yeah. It works out, and that game basically revolves around the good guys versus the bad. So the players are the good guys, and everybody else is the bad guys. And so
you would hope that that's the setup. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how they.
No. I know.
No matter what it is you're doing,
Are we the baddies?
I guess the heroes and the villains. I guess you could be the bad guy, sure.
Yeah.
But basically, you always if you take the fast action, the bad guy takes the fast action, you still go first. The heroes always go first. There's no rolling dice.
Okay. Well, that's not too far off from what we do with Top Secret, where we've kind of eliminated initiative because we just look at how fast are you and, what action points do you have remaining.
Right.
So I like that approach. I think rolling initiative for every round of combat gets a little bit old.
Yeah. See, I've done that too. Like even for our group that's like very, crunchy sometimes. We have started leaning away from the whole initiative thing, rolling it, because it's like basically everybody rolls, and now I got to keep track of who got what, who went when, and I'm already trying to keep track of all this other stuff while I'm game mastering, right? But then I got to remember, did Jason go before Bill? Did Bill wait a minute? But the bad guys rolled, and I was like, oh, after a while.
The way that I play it with Top Secret is, look, everything's happening at once, so you get your shot off, but if the other guy hits you, he still does. I mean, both of these things are happening at the same time, but I let people do, I guess, what's the equivalent of a fast action by saying, if it really matters to you, you can take this penalty and go first.
Right. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And then it's got the dice pool ranging from 1 to 5, which seems to be a big thing in games now. This seems to be sort of like the thing that's going on now with a lot of games where ranges are 1 to 5. That seems to be a big thing. And like even with Top Secret, that's really our range.
It is, since we have 5 types of dice.
Right. Now we go above that with the plus D4 and all that kind of stuff, but that's only with your skill roll. All the other ones are stuck with the 5. So that seems to be a thing, and that, it works out really well. The last thing I got on this is Year Zero is an open source. And it says with a standard reference document. Oh, okay, I see. Standard SRD.
Just saying you can make stuff for it.
Yeah. So kind of like the way we do with our Elf license.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, so that sounds cool. I mean, if I wasn't going to be super busy, I would very much consider playing in this. I know
it's the only thing that bums me out about ModCon is I can't go play all the games with everybody.
Yeah.
Like I literally want to be at every one of these tables. There's so many good games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I just like moderns, but they're so good. So
here's the next one, a buddy of ours.
All right.
And Jason, you'll talk to this one because I think you've played this one, haven't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. This is this is Burn 2D6. I got to say it right. Kevin Borup, Saltheart, created this, and this is how I met Kevin. It had nothing. I didn't know him before I played it. I saw him at ShireCon. He was selling the game. He was explaining it well. It looked really fun, so I bought it on the spot, and I was right. It's great. In fact, Kevin, Burn 2D6 it's not a universal system like GURPS, but it is in the sense that you can take these mechanics and use them in a lot of different settings. To the point that he even used a slightly modified version of it for a game that he wrote for another company. So he wrote on assignment, he wrote the Smurfs RPG. Right. The official licensed Smurfs RPG, and I saw that it just arrived. The Kickstarters are now arriving, and
it looked good.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
But we're not playing. We're not going to do Smurfs at the ModCon because we're not sure if Smurfs are modern or not. They seem a little medieval.
Right.
So anyway, he is doing Burn 2D6. I love this. Catering the Apocalypse. All right, so in this, the secret agents of Alt 255's culinary unit must stop a diabolical plot of tainted milkshakes, mind control, and mayhem. Evil chefs lurk in the shadows.
That's awesome.
Which is exactly where evil chefs do lurk. So, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. So let me just explain Burn 2D6 as best I can. I actually see Kevin in the chat. So if we had him on here, he'd explain it better, but he can at least watch the steam come out of his ears and yell as I do a bad job of this. But basically what it comes down to is this. In Burn 2D6, it's called 2D6 because that is your basic roll. Everything you're trying to do, you roll 2D6, and it's a roll under system. So you have a certain number you have to get under based on how difficult something is. But here's where the burning comes in and all the other kind of stuff happens. Some things are more difficult, and the more difficult something is, the more dice you have to roll to get under that number. So you might end up with some really impossible task where you have, let's say, 5d6, and you've got to roll under a 4.
Oh my God! Okay.
Which is impossible, right? Or let's just keep it simple. Let's say you've got 4d6 and you've got to roll under a 8 or something. The point is you don't want to be rolling that many dice.
Right.
So in Burn 2d6, you have got 4 basic stats. And I'm not sure if they're named the same everywhere, and this is where Kevin can yell at the screen. But normally the 4 basic stats are move, heart, eyes, and soul. And you start with 24 points distributed across the stats, and like an array, right? So what you can do then is you can actually get rid of some of the dice in your die pool by burning them. And the way you burn them is you say, I will give up 2 points of my heart stat to burn 2 dice out of the die pool.
Right.
And now I have a better chance of doing it. So it's kind of like, it's almost like taking damage intentionally, or it's basically like as you're doing things, you're kind of wearing yourself down. You can get those points back, through like a long rest or, different methods of doing it. You can even use, I think it's called a surge I hope that's right. Where you get one surge, but you can also get them by doing things like rolling really well, so that you can get more back. So it's a very dynamic thing that's moving along. So it's simple to understand at the basics, which is I'm rolling a couple of d6s and I'm getting under a number, but then the risk and reward comes in, where you say, and you have to decide before you roll. You can't say like, oh, I rolled really badly, I'm going to burn some. No, you decide at the beginning. And that's what kind of makes it, as the adventure goes on, your character's getting worn down, and trying to make it through the whole thing. So it's very exciting. And Kevin's explaining to me the stat does not decrease. You add burn only until equal to the stat. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you. But anyways, the point is that the system is very fast and easy to learn and really, really fun. And so this it can be done in a lot of different settings. This one is in a modern top secret culinary setting, which is brilliant. So can't wait to play it. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Sounds like it. I need to play Burn 2D6 sometimes. I never played it. So
yeah,
Kevin, you're listening. I'm going to have to sign up for one of your games sometime when we're in a convention together. So let's do this next one. This is kind of cool. This is another game I never played that I want to play.
Oh yeah, Shane Ivey.
Yeah. So this is Delta Green Owl Shed Mountain.
Owl Shed.
Owl Shed, yes.
Owl Shed, not Owl Shit.
Yeah, not Owl Shit or
Owl Shed Mountain.
Owl said, now owl as in whoo shed, as in the thing you can, anyway.
There's an owl shed in the woods.
Yeah.
As a side note, I realize, so right now we've got a pope from Chicago. And everybody in Chicago likes to say the old saying, when you ask somebody, oh, is that real? They're like, does the Pope shit in the woods?
Oh,
I will bet you anything that the Pope has said that phrase to somebody.
Oh, you think?
I
Maybe.
bet you Pope Leo loves saying, does the Pope shit in the woods? I will bet you anything he loves doing that.
Oh my God.
If anybody knows the Pope, let me know if that's true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Just, you know what? Have him come on our show. We'll talk about it.
You know what? Maybe somebody grew up with him.
Right.
Because he's a Chicago kid. You know?
He is.
He's Leo the
that's
Pope.
why. Right. That makes, now I'm so stupid. Now I'm putting two and two together.
He's Pope Leo. He's Leo the Pope.
Right.
He wears a White Sox hat.
That's
with his Pope outfit.
That's awesome.
All right. Anyways, we're talking about games.
Yeah. So so it's made by Arc Dream Publishing. And the event description is: have you heard of Cooter McGee, the murderous moonshiner body? Murderous moonshiner's body was never found, and whenever hikers or college students vanish on Owl Shed Mountain, people whisper his name, laughing,
Cooter McGee,
but not too loudly. Vermont's wild hills hide more than fear. Surveyors disappeared, searchers killed in floods, and now blasters vanish, preparing ski slips. Oh, the people, right? Okay. Delta Green knows the truth. Soon you will too. Yeah, when I saw blasters, I was like, "Is this a space game?" No, it's
people blasting the mountains. Yeah,
blasting them out. Right. So, so that sounds cool. Delta Green is it's a setting where basically in 1928 there was a U.S. government raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth. We all know
Innsmouth, yes.
Right, yeah. Massachusetts. The covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor but without glory. Delta Green agents fight to save humanity from unnatural horrors, often at shattering personal cost.
You know, I kind of describe Delta Green as being halfway between Top Secret and Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it, because in Call of Cthulhu, you know, they're trying to stop evil and expose it and stuff like that. Whereas Delta Green, they're still trying to stop evil, but they're trying to hide it. Like, they cover
keep
it up,
put away.
Yeah. So it's the system is a streamlined evolution of the basic role-playing system, the D100 engine. So it's a D100 game, which makes sense because it originally was an add-on for Call of Cthulhu. So Delta Green wasn't always.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that in one of the things I was reading.
No.
But yeah,
what do you know?
Used to be a thing for Call of Cthulhu, which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so the players roll percentile dice equal to or lower than their skill percentage. You know, like old school games. That's really old school, right? You know, Jason, I don't remember playing the original Top Secret. Well, it was a percentile system, wasn't it?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
Top Secret was a percentile system. Had a lot to do with Boot Hill, actually.
Yeah. Okay. And you rolled under, right? Same thing.
Oh, now you're asking me too much.
Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. It says, in calm situations, the game master, called the handler, may grant automatic success if an agent's skill is high enough, avoiding unnecessary rolls for extras. And that totally makes sense. I love when games do that, where, like, if let's say you're an expert and it's a mundane task, the GM can just go, yeah, you make that roll. You don't have to roll the die, because it's a simple thing. You're taking your time. It's something you do every day. And then, criticals are a roll of doubles. So if you roll, an 11, 22, 33 as a critical success, and if it's within the skill range, and a fumble if it's above. Oh, I see. So if you fail your roll and it's a double, it's a fumble. But if you make your roll and it's a double, you get a critical. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So, and introduce some, unique mechanics. There's things called bonds. Agents have relationships with loved ones that act as mechanical buffer for sanity. Oh, that's cool. Agents can project sanity loss onto a bond, reducing immediate mental trauma at the cost of damaging that relationship. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So it's like you go home and you dump all this horrible stuff on your girlfriend, and that way she takes some of your humanity loss.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God, that's funny. So insanity loss isn't like in some games where it's just humanity loss or sanity loss. This one they break it into three. There's violence, helplessness, and the unnatural. Agents can eventually become hardened to violence or helpless, making them more resilient but socially alienated. So that's cool. Delta Green is a game I've been eyeing up, and I really want to play that, but I just got to find the time.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I feel like we need to get everybody to just stay for an extra day and just run games for us.
Yeah, no shit.
Can we do that as con organizers? Is that legit? Probably not.
I don't think so. No.
No, it'd be like, you can't leave yet. We haven't
Right.
played your game.
All right. Here's another Solarian favorite.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we've got Joey Royale is going to be at ModCon running Weird Heroes of Public Access, the role-playing game. I was trying to find my older zine copy of it. I've just got my hardback here right now. That's the trouble. Before we're doing the show, I don't have all my stuff in front of me, so I couldn't just grab all the books off the shelf. But Weird Heroes of Public Access, if you don't know, it is it's not set in any specific decade. It's somewhere in the 70s or the 80s or maybe the 90s, somewhere in the recent past, that is a time when things like the National Enquirer were at every supermarket checkout, and the public access television stations, well, they didn't rule the airwaves, but they were on them.
Right.
If anybody doesn't remember or wasn't in a place that had public access TV, certain TV channels had a responsibility that the FCC would say you have to provide free airways for the community, and people could just come on and make a show. They would stick it on like a UHF channel somewhere. 4 people would watch it, but the point is you got to have your own TV show. Mm-hmm. You just how you got chosen to do one, who knows? But that's what you are in this game. You are public access television hosts. And so, on the cover here, you can see some of the different kinds of hosts you might have, like the preachers and the ventriloquist and the late night horror show host and the exercise guru and all those kind of things. And you see lurking in the background that monster, because while in our world, maybe the things you saw in the Weekly World News were just stories, in this game, they're real. Mm-hmm. So in Weird Heroes of Public Access, it says, you and your pals are public access television hosts in a pre-internet suburbia, haunted by a relentless full moon. Use your niche talents and undying hope to thwart dangerous supernatural threats before they take over the entire town.
Yep.
It's a very simple system. It's a D6 pool system. It's really so much more about your creativity. So you choose what type of host you're going to be. So when I play, I usually play a television host that's based on a fellow that I used to know in Los Angeles who actually did have a public access show. And do you remember? I think this was on Saturday Night Live. Martin Short played a character called Jiminy Glick.
Yes.
So he was actually based on this guy that I knew.
Hmm.
That character was based on a real public access TV host. And
That's
so
awesome.
I've based my character on that too. So you just kind of pick whatever you want. And then what type of a host you are gives you ideas about what your niche powers are. And it's all set in the town of Fairhaven, which is why it's called WHPA Fairhaven. Weird Heroes of
Mhm.
Public Access Fairhaven. I don't know exactly what adventure he's planning to run at this. I know he's been doing some cool ninja kids, and stuff like that. You know, because you get some kids on their bicycles with their throwing stars.
Yeah.
In fact, there usually are these kids in Fairhaven that are part of the problem. You know, as a public access host, these 13-year-olds are always bullying you. So,
Yeah.
you know, they come into the whole thing. It's going to be a ton of fun. Joey's a great GM and a good guy who's a lot of fun to be around. So you're going to have a blast.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know
he's
if there's any
just
seats left on this, but if there are, get one because you'll have fun.
he's entertaining. Not even running a game or anything, just hanging out. He's entertaining
For
so,
sure.
Yeah. So he's good at what he does.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely come out and play that.
Yeah. All right. And then here's one that I like. I've played at Total Con, called Fiasco.
It's been around
It
for a while. Yeah,
it
this is kind
has.
of.
Yeah.
Is Fiasco like the original storytelling RPG?
I don't know if it is, but it's definitely goes back to.
It's pioneering.
If it's not, it's close.
It's pioneering. Let's say
Yeah.
that. I don't want to say what's first.
Right. So now Fiasco is it's a very interactive game. It's GM-less, although when I've played it, there was a person who ran it, but I don't think it wasn't like a GM. Like we everything that happened.
They were
in
just
that-
kind of helping with the rules, basically.
Yeah, they were basically making sure the turns happened properly and stuff like that. They were more of a guide than anything, just making sure that we followed the rules, and helped explain them to us. But so there's different settings you can have. There's wait a minute, hold on. There are 4 that come with the game, and then there's expansions come with the main game. There's a Main Street, which is a small town America, Boomtown, which is the Wild West, Tales from Suburbia, which is modern times, and then the Ice, which is the McMurdo Station in Antarctica. So I'm thinking the thing, these, but when you play Fiasco, there's always one winner, and there's a way to count points and stuff when things happen, and then people vote and stuff like that. So it's you do have one winner, but it is also competitive and collaborative. It all depends on how you help. And the messed up thing is the way the game works is somebody could be like doing the worst crap and actually turn out to be the winner, just the way things work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny because the time I played, I thought for sure I was going to be the first one voted out because I was being a giant asshole, and that was my. But that's the character I chose.
That's what my character would do.
You're right, right, exactly. That's not really
You were being that stereotype.
Yeah, I was. So anyway, no. The game is supposed to. The reason
My
why-
character would slap you.
Well, in this
No,
game,
no.
that actually works.
Yeah.
But there was a thing called a choke bot. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Don't slap people in games, folks.
Right. So they can have different settings. This one, it's a world of super scientists, boy adventurers, arch villainry, and globe-trotting action, big inventions and bigger egos. If you're not running the show, you're henching and biding your time, or worse, sidekicking. Superheroes, super spies, and super failures when you blow it. Saving the world, destroying the world. Sometimes it's hard to tell what will do that. Them's the breaks. So this is going to be set in the sort of like an Archer time
Nice.
frame.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
Venture Bros, Get Smart, Man from Uncle, James Bond. So that's kind of cool. But I know it's going to be more goofy, so it's probably going to be much more like
Get Smart.
Get Smart, or I'm trying to think what's Archer. So Archer.
Yep. I'm surprised there's never been an official Archer RPG because my goodness.
Yeah, but you know what? We've talked about this before. It's like it's a game where you're supposed to be funny, and that's hard to
Yeah.
do. That's
Yep.
not for everybody.
Yeah, Archer would probably make more sense as a board game because then you could put funny things on the cards,
Yeah, yeah, I think
from
so.
the writers, because the writers on Archer are so good. Nobody can keep up with that in the everyday world.
Right.
Yeah, maybe if you got a bunch of Hollywood writers together, they could keep up. But other than that,
So there's no adventures, nothing. There's no prep. The adventure kind of writes itself because you all sit down at the table. There's this dice running mechanism, which I'm not going to get into. It's a little complex to explain. It's very easy to understand. It's one of those things that's like you try to explain. That sounds really hard, and then you do it. Oh, it's easy. But at the end of it, you all have certain dice and rolls and stuff like that, and then you go to each person who declares what their character is. Like say, I am such and such, and this is what I do. It might be your role or whatever. It could be, I'm the scientist working on building the robot. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Then you have to pick a person to your left and a person to your right, and you have to say some stuff about how you guys are involved with each other.
right.
So
Your relationship, like how do you know each other, and
yeah,
what's your relationship to each other?
so it could be that you're brothers, or it could be that you're friends, or it could be that you hate each other. It's any
Yeah,
kind of relationship.
yeah,
That's my ex-wife's boyfriend or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
And then that person has to roll with that. And then there's one need, object, or location. So then you would say maybe like, and I have a 45 caliber.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that. And then that's it. And you go around the table like that. And then the story builds itself around that. That actually sets a lot of stuff in play.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
And it's being run by Petra.
Oh, nice. That's
I
gonna be
believe.
so fun.
I believe it's
Yeah,
Petra.
Petra from Rising Phoenix.
Honestly, Phoenix. She is amazing at running this game.
Oh,
Amazing.
that's good.
If you can get a seat, you really should, because she does a fantastic job.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. Well, this is just a few of the games, so I know we've got a ton of games that are in there already to go and check out. We just wanted to highlight a few of them for tonight. I'll talk about the one you're running one too, right?
Well, I think so.
You haven't turned it on yet. You're gonna
I
wait
haven't
and
turned
see?
it back on. I had it on, but then we were like, anyway. So
Well, okay,
maybe.
so I'll just
Maybe.
tell them on mine. So, so obviously I'm going to be running Top Secret. I don't think that's surprising since that's our game, and
Right.
we want to make sure there's some there. Although I think Sean is running some Top Secret too. We'll definitely have plenty of Top Secret for people to play, but I'll be running a. Well, it's a published adventure, but it's called The Bank Job, but it's not. You can't go buy just The Bank Job. If you have a copy of Forged with Fire, which is the kind of double book that we brought out a while ago. Forged with Fire is a training scenario, sort of. I don't want to get into it too much because there's some twists and turns, and I don't want to spoil it. But in the mission, some of your time is spent at the Crucible, which is where the agents train. It's like the farm for the CIA. And there's a bunch of training scenarios. So I thought, hang on a second, these training scenarios can be turned into real life scenarios, and they make great con games because you can do the whole training scenario in a 4-hour thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, it's called The Bank Job when I run it like this. You are originally you think you're just going on a milk run. That's what they call it when it's really easy. You're just going on a milk run. All you got to do is meet this defector at the bank, and he's there with his handler, and you've just got to use the secret code phrase and lift him and get him out. That's it.
Easy,
No big deal.
right?
No big deal. Trouble is, the defector shows up 4 hours early because his handler is suspicious, and when they go to the bank, and you're not ready, and coincidentally, terrorists take everybody hostage. So a bunch of Italian anarchists show up from I think I say they're from Punto Zero. And the Italian anarchists show up and they take everybody hostage, and they've got their demands, and now the cops have surrounded the place, and your guy is in there, and you got to get him out. He doesn't even know that you're there to get him out. You don't know what he looks like, and there's terrorists and cops. What are you gonna do?
Right.
So that's the scenario. I've never seen it played the same way twice. Some people go in hot, and that's not a good idea, I'll tell you right now. Some people are very, very sneaky about it. They're more about the hacking. Other people are more about the manipulate, what do they call it? The social engineering. How are you going to get in there? How are you going to find them? It's a lot of fun to play. And so come on down and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You've already sold some tickets too.
Yeah. Well, it's hopefully, I've noticed it's a very nice compliment when I get repeat players. So a lot of people I see the same players from convention to convention, and that means I need to write more stuff. But I also find it great when I have brand new folks. So I haven't looked to see if they're all new players or returning, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. So
Right.
come and do that.
So
And we got a ton more stuff running, but
Yeah,
we
there's
won't go into all of it tonight. We'll start doing some GM highlights on our Facebook page, and we'll get a Discord channel set up for this soon too.
yeah, there's some superhero stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We got miniatures. We were going
have
to
some
talk about one of
miniatures?
the miniatures games, but it's one of them is a homebrew, and another one is using. I wasn't sure. Kevin is actually running Tanks for the Apocalypse, and I know he said it's a Snarling Badger. I wasn't sure if it was iron, if it was rain and iron or what. But yeah, we have a special room called the Safe House where we're going to be doing the miniatures. And like you said, there's some superhero games, some cyberpunk games, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think that's it for this week, right?
I think so. We wanted to talk about this because it's, we want to get the word out as best we can. We'll do some news stories next week. I mean, these news stories can wait a week. They're fine.
Yeah, there was some news this week. I noticed that Wizards of the Coast, that the Magic the Gathering online folks, or maybe the Arena, I don't know. I noticed that they have unionized, and Wizards hasn't recognized the union yet, so that'll be fun.
That's going to be interesting.
Maybe the Pinkertons will come in.
Oh no!
Remember when they used the Pinkertons?
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about your throwbacks.
Right.
So
right.
maybe next week we'll get to talk about the Pinkertons storming Wizards of the Coast and
Breaking up
dragging
that union.
dragging the unionists out by the hair or something. Who knows?
Right.
But we'll have some more news stories for you next week, and we'll be over in the Discord doing our after hours in just a few minutes. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, pop on in. The Patreon is not free anymore, but it was last month. But hey, people picked up some good stuff.
They did.
But you can still get it. It's cheap, guys. What is it? $5-10, something like that.
It's $5 or $10. There's 2 levels, but you get a lot. I mean, we put out a lot of stuff, dude. I'm going through revamping the site, making everything, because as things grow, a lot of times you'll start one way and then move to another. So I'm uniforming everything. It's been a ton of work doing that, and I'm just like, man, I put a lot of crap up, and it's all still there.
Yeah, it's all there for you. So come on in, join the Patreon, and we'll see you in the Discord in a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, real quick. Yeah. Sorry. A link to the Patreon. It's just patreon.com/Solarian.
Yeah. You know what? We'll stick a link on the websites. We haven't been too good about that.
Yeah,
so
we probably should
we'll do that. But Mike, you can also hit me up. Just send me a message on DM, and I'll give you a link to the Discord if you want to pop in and say hi. If you don't already have it.
All right, y'all. See you next week.
See you there.